Okay, so what we have here is, well, let's actually notate it first with our text. So here we're going to call this a 1 chord, and we're going to call this whole thing a 1 chord. But what we're going to do is we're going to call this a 5-3, and we should make that a little smaller to be accurate. Okay, we're going to call this a 1-5-3 to 6-4. And we're not done yet to 5-3 to show that it's neighboring. We've got to show it going back. And then we're going to connect it. So what we really should be doing is using a line like this. It's hard to do in MuseScore, but I'm going to do it like that. There. So we have a 1-5-3-6-4-5-3. So this shows that this is a neighboring 6-4 chord, because the 5 goes to 6, goes to 5, the 3 goes to 4, goes to 3. And that's how these neighboring 6-4 chords work. Now there's one other wrinkle to this, that we sometimes also call this a pedal 6-4. Now, the reason for the word pedal 6-4 is we know what pedals are by this point, right? We've talked about pedals, I think. A pedal is a repeating note that goes throughout a number of chords. We get the term from organ pedals, just laying a big bass note down and then that continuing on for a long time. It doesn't always have to be in the bass, but it often is. And the reason we would call this a pedal 6-4 is because this note just keeps on trucking all the way through, just like a pedal would. We could sustain this F if we wanted to all the way, and just have a voice that just kept playing an F over and over and over. In fact, let's do it. Watch this. We could do this. There, we could do that if we wanted. And now we'd really have a pedal, right? We don't have to do this in order for it to be considered a pedal. This repeated note is enough, right? Let's hear what this sounds like just for fun. Right? And we could keep hitting that F over and over and over if we wanted, just to really emphasize it, which is essentially what we're doing already. Right? We're already doing that with this. Let's hear that just for fun. Right? It totally works. It's a little heavy-handed though. So let's not do it. But we don't have to for this to be considered a pedal 6-4 chord. So neighboring 6-4, and pedal 6-4 are almost always the same thing. You could do a neighboring 6-4 without a pedal 6-4, but it would be pretty rare. I can't think of how an example of that would work off the top of my head. So I think it's safe to think of them as the same thing, a neighboring 6-4 and a pedal 6-4. I prefer the term neighboring 6-4 because it's more clearly showing what's happening here and not just talking about the bass note. Now, unlike our previous example over here, what this one was doing was embellishing or extending the dominant, right? Now what we're doing is using that 6-4 to embellish or extend the tonic, right? And that's okay. So we would never call this a cadential 6-4 because it has no cadential properties. There's nothing about this that means that it's a cadence, whereas this is what we use for a cadence. So this is cadential. This is just neighboring. It's a neighboring 6-4. It's extending tonic. Okay, now let's talk about things that you should know in order to write some yourself and then we'll do it.